Alright guys, and welcome back to Forza Motorsport 6. This is Car Wars episode 16, and in today's episode we will see the Chevrolet Camaro Z28 go head to head against the Ford Mustang GT350R. First up, it will be the Chevrolet Camaro Z28. So this here is the Z28. It comes with a naturally aspirated 7-litre V8 engine, which pumps out 505 brake horsepower and over 500 pounds-foot of torque. So off the line, and there was a hell of a lot of wheel spin, but we're getting up through the gears quite quickly, and we're coming into that first corner at about 80 miles per hour, which isn't bad. Of course, this car comes with massive rear tyres, so we should be able to maintain grip effectively. This is the first time ever driving this car, so I don't really know what to expect. Oh shit. But I know how the Ford Mustang GT350 handles, and I have high hopes that it will win. You know, I have a feeling that the GT350 will not be outperformed by this car, but of course I have not actually driven this yet, so I may actually be quite surprised. Oh fuck. Getting a wee bit unbalanced through the braking there. Locked them up slightly as well. Jesus. For such a big heavy car, it's actually quite nimble. And it is easy to drive, so if you do go into a corner at speed that is too high, you can easily correct it and get the car going where you need it and where you want it to go. Bloody hell, actually it holds a hell of a lot of speed through these corners. Chevrolet have done a hell of a job making sure that this car is incredibly agile and incredibly well planted. It's quite surprising to say the least. Oh shit, shit. Got it a bit wrong, but luckily I didn't hit that wall. I think this car, yeah, it's revving all the way out to about 7,000 RPM, which is incredibly good for a large, naturally aspirated V8. Of course, the Ford Mustang GT350R actually comes with a flat plane crank, 5.2 litre naturally aspirated V8, so it does rev much higher than this car. This episode we will only be doing 2 laps, and the first one is a 2:04. Oh shit, got it wrong and understeered wide. But you just put the power down and the car actually kind of pulls itself around the corner. It's a very nice car to drive, and it is quite easy to drive as well. And the sound is, holy shit. You know, because I've never actually driven this car before, I'd never heard what it sounds like, but this LS7 is magnificent. It really is. 3 seconds faster that sector. Hopefully we can get sub 2. That would be nice. Yeah, I was getting it a bit wrong. I was trying to correct it too much, and now I've fluffed it up. But due to the fact that it is easy to drive, we're actually able to correct it mid-corner and get the car on around. Bloody hell. This thing would drift incredibly easy, and I dare say it would be a hell of a lot of fun to drift this car. Just got one tyre off the track. It's going to make our time void, which is very unfortunate. However, I'm just going to take what the fastest lap record was. I've had enough of Forza saying, oh shit. Right. I had to brake slightly through that corner. Felt the car starting to drift a bit. Shit. Fuck's sake. It's easy to drive, but I'm just making many errors in my driving, and it's not good. Okay, so the fastest that this car actually achieved was a 2:04, which is incredibly unfortunate. I messed up on that second lap, which I shouldn't have done. A lot of rookie mistakes. However, 2:04 is an incredibly solid time for a standing lap. Let's see how the Ford Mustang performs on track. Okay guys, so here is the Ford Mustang GT350R. Of course, this should be easier to drive, although both the Z28 and the GT350R are track focused cars. I believe this one will be able to perform much better, generally because it's been tuned and tested and everything by Ford Performance. And even going through that first corner, it feels a lot more stable and a lot more planted. Even the sound of that 5.2 litre flat plane crank V8 just sounds absolutely unreal. Well, shit. Right. In typical Ford Mustang fashion, we ended in the wall. Shit. This is not good. I'm driving like a fucking child. Hopefully we can pick it up and actually make these 2 laps count. Bloody hell, this thing revs all the way out to about 8,700 RPM, which is fucking unbelievable for a V8 engine. That's like Ferrari territory, so it is, but then again, Ferraris have flat plane cranks and so does this car. Amazing. Sound, I will never get over this. I just wish that they would have brought this to the UK as well as the 5 litre V8 GT. But unfortunately, we only get the EcoBoost and the GT models. We don't actually get the privilege of owning a GT350R. So Ford, if you do hear this, wise the fuck up and give us the GT350R. Already, first lap we're 1 second faster, and that was with a major cock up on that corner. And I've messed up this corner as well. Well, Forza didn't seem to think that. There are some corners where the Camaro actually feels much better than the Mustang. However, on the other corners the Mustang feels much better than the Camaro. However, it's what you prefer, and you know, it's what makes you happy at the end of the day. If you're driving a Camaro and it gives you the fizz, then drive your Camaros. If you're driving a Mustang and you enjoy it, then drive your Mustangs. So don't let me tell you what to drive, but this thing is absolutely amazing. I would just love to get my hands on a real life variant of it. So easy to throw around, and you can somewhat hold it and somewhat get it back. Like, I'm not the best drifter. You know, I hate understeer, love oversteer, but I can't handle oversteer at all, so actually getting an opportunity to throw a car around that's as easy to do so like this, it's just amazing. It's so easy to get the angle, and it's somewhat easy to actually hold that safely. But it's freakishly fast, and it's actually quite surprising just how fast this car is. And of course, both the Z28 and the GT350R are actually A-class cars. But we're across the line with a 201.489. It's unfortunate, it actually seemed as though the Z28 was on par to being faster than this, but this car, of course, it was easier to drive for myself, and that is why I was able to post 2 consecutive fast laps. But guys, there only really is a couple of seconds in this competition between these 2 cars. They're both amazing to drive, they both sound amazing, and have unbelievably high-powered V8 engines. If I was to recommend one, probably the GT350R, in the sense that it's easier to drive, and the sound is unparalleled by any other car. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.